Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Share the Live Stream. I've got a lot of updates today. I'm fired up today. You can if you're on our Instagram, you can't hear the music, but it's jamming. We're jamming today. Upbeat, up tempo. But I just wanted to we've got some updates today. So I want to make sure I set the tone. I want to come in hot today. We've got a lot of stuff to be thankful for, a lot of stuff going on, a lot of encouraging things. And you know what? Look, when I get my teeth into something encouraging, ooh, you better watch out. Because I'm in a season of a lot of discouragement, a lot of pain. I've been open about it. I've been open and honest about it. Transformation Church says humble, open, and transparent. They come in hot. I come in humble, open. I'm even adding honest and transparent. It still spells hot. Humble, open, honest, and transparent. I think honest is I had to add that in there because honesty is a hard thing sometimes when you're going through it. You know what I'm saying? Like it is just we're not programmed to even really want to hear that something bad is going on with someone. It's not because we don't want to hear that something's bad is going on with someone. It's that 9 times out of 10, I think it boils down to like you don't want to hear it, right? You don't want to hear someone's going through a hard time. You know what I'm saying? Like you want to be everything to be good. Everything should be good. Everything could be good. And so when you go through hard times, sometimes it's hard. It's hard to share. I've been in that place, and I've been trying to push through that place. I've been trying to push through and make sure that I kind of document some of the stuff that's going on because I feel like I'm documenting a miracle. Today feels more like a miracle, which is great. And I can't wait to share some of the news that I have for y'all for today. But the first thing I want to do is I want to give a shout out, big shout out to my boy, Anthony Cotton, AC. AC is in the building. Well, he's not in the building, but you know, he's going to watch this and I'm excited for him to watch this because brother, I'm about to give you a little bit of a tribute. For y'all that don't know, which is pretty much all y'all, we can turn down the Charmin commercial. We have been friends. We have been best friends for I've been in Chicago for 21 years this year. I met him probably year 4 or 5 in. We met in nightclubs. So I had just gotten into running bars, and I wasn't running anything actually yet. The first one I ran was Le Passage nightclub, and but before that I was a bartender, and he was on staff as security. So AC and I met. I was a brand new GM. You know, he was brand new security manager. Actually, I'm sorry, scratch that. He and I met through our mutual friend, Paul Blair, who is now Lady Gaga's like producer or whatever. He ran a place called Celebrity over in Wicker Park. That's actually where we met first. There's a funny picture. I have a picture that I had. Nope. Don't want phone calls. I want to stream. So that's the problem with Instagram. You dig? We're trying to get a message out here, and people are trying to call me, and I don't want to talk on the phone. I want to be on my live stream. Anyways, Paul Blair hired me at his bar / club called Celebrity over in Wicker Park. I met a lot of people, a lot of amazing people. Lifelong friend Sarah Marmer is another one that I met during that time. Man, so many people. So many like industry legends worked there. It was incredible. And I came in as a consultant. I had experience with operations through doing a bunch of stuff with Cheesecake Factory or other companies like that. and it was pretty rad. It was pretty rad what I got to do. I got to come in there as a consultant, but I also bartended. And during that time, one of the managers that was on staff his name was Anthony Cotton. Everybody in Chicago knows him as AC. AC and I became really good friends. It was like we had a common bond, and it was an interesting common bond. Because we both had a similar background. I'm gonna stop the music. It's distracting me. That's why I think the upbeat is like making my brain hurt a little bit. But anyways, Anthony Cotton, he was the manager there. I was a bartender. We became friends. Our interesting but only God connection is we both had like these pasts where, we were kind of raised in the streets a little bit. I mean, my mom obviously didn't let us get in the street, we know, but we had like a kind of a street or a hood background, and we had our own, we did our own things, in that space, in that time of our life. But the entire time, we had a relationship with Jesus, and we had a relationship with God, and we had to have a relationship even while we were running nightclubs. And what ended up being the thing that like bonded us together the best. That's the deodorant that I use, in case you're wondering. Anyways, so the thing that bonded us was our love for God and our love for Jesus. And here's the thing, that was the thing that bonded us, but we had a lot of other things in common. You know what I'm saying? Like we really like Jameson. You know what I'm saying? Like there's a lot of other things that we had and built a friendship, but the common thread was always Jesus. And what was really interesting, what has always been really interesting about he and I, is that like we'd find our way to the bottom of a Jameson bottle over talks about scripture. You know what I'm saying? Like smack out of our minds. And we'd be doing it, and a lot of times the conversation was like, in the future, I know this is what we're going to be doing in the future. I know what God's going to have us do in the future. And it was so cool and clear, even at that time, that we would go on in our lives to not just like re-engage at a different level with our faith and with our spirituality, but like we'd be people in the world that brought it to other people. It was clear since we knew each other. And look, it's crazy. He's been back in kind of school for his pastoral like education. I am starting a ministry and will continue, education in scripture, and my desire and my goal is to share, and my desire and my goal is to make sure people know that they're not alone, and my desire and my goal is to spread good news to people and reconnect and rebuild relationships. And we've been talking about this since we started, everything. And I think sometimes, what I love about celebrating people and what I love about celebrating times and timelines, you guys, if you know me, you know this about me. I love marking moments. I love marking moments because it gives us a moment to reflect, specifically with certain filters on. And for today, my filter is the relationship that me and AC have had. So if you're watching on Instagram Live right now, I encourage you, pop over to the live stream where I'm going to do a little slideshow if I can do it. This is one I want to share. Back to StreamYard. I'm gonna do a little slideshow, and I want to do a little slideshow about AC. I want to be small. Wait, this is the one I want to share. Not this one. Not this one. This one. Stop. This one. Share. Screen share. Chrome Tizzle. AC on Facebook. Boom. Okay. So if you are on Instagram, go into my link right now. Go into my bio right now. and click the top link on when you go to my link tree. Go to the top link that says share the live stream. You'll be able to tune in live on my YouTube page. Or if you want, and it's more convenient, you can tune in live on the Facebook stream right now. But one of those two you should be on right now, so you can see this slideshow that we're about to do. So this is AC. This is my boy AC. Right here in the top, you can see him on the top, like next to right above me here, right? This is, and what I did is, what I love is Instagram or Facebook gives you an opportunity to, what I'm gonna do on here is I'm gonna change the picture. I definitely took a picture of him. That is super AC, if you know AC. Come on, where is it? But what I wanted to do is I wanted to have an opportunity to just kind of go through some of the memories, right? Because my word for 2021, one of my two words, I can't find it. One of my two words for 2021 is remember. Broken was one of the words, is one of my words for 2021, and remember is one of my words for 2021. And I don't think that I've hidden the fact that right now I'm in a season that my body is broken. And here's the thing. I don't think that word, because that it was one of those ones where checked in. Are you sure that's my word, God? And he was like, yeah. And I think that it didn't kind of edify the fact that my body's broken. What it did was it made sure that I remembered what my focus was. My focus is to be with broken people, that there are a lot of broken people in the world, and that my focus is to be with people that have been broken. And so anyways, but the other one is to remember. And so this is a trip down memory lane with one of my best friends who we used to run nightclubs together, right? And we've done so much. So we got so many pictures to go through, and we'll pop through some of them. But seriously, like this is me and my boy. This is it. This is me and my boy. If you know me and AC, this is us. This is us in our element. This was actually taken at a party called Nostalgia, which me and some other partners, Lou Baker, Sean Mack, Kendall Hearns, Jess Lee, we put this party together called Nostalgia. It was old school hip hop and R&B, and it was on Tuesday nights, and it was epic. But AC had come through, and this is AC to me. You know what I'm saying? AC. If you're tuning in here, I promise you, it's worth it to click the link in my bio, go and watch the live stream on my YouTube page. Because the pictures that I'm talking about are kind of in reference. Right now, I'm showing a picture of me and my best friend AC. It's his 50th birthday, so this is kind of a tribute to him. And this is a picture of me and AC. AC in this picture has on a Nostalgia hat and a Nostalgia shirt. And that was the brand, right? That was the brand that we had created for this party. But this is a perfect picture of AC. He's got the hat and the shirt, the exact same logo on the hat, exact same logo on the shirt. Because this is who AC is to me. This is who he's been in my life. Like a supporter. He didn't have anything to do with this party, but he knew that he was VIP, not just VIP in this party, but he really supported me. He has always supported me. So this is why I wanted to kind of, and this is us, you know what I'm saying? Just partying. This is us just chilling, man. Just in it. We always dancing, always in the music, always enjoying it. This is me and AC. But like I said, what do you have friends that would wear your logo t-shirt and hat on the same day? You know what I'm saying? That's what AC is to me. He's always supported. This is a picture of AC. This is actually the same night, but we were out for Boo's birthday actually, and he was back in town. And so, this is all me and the boys. We're out in front of High Sue. This is us just as young bucks. You can see I have an earpiece in. I was running around doing something on the floor at the nightclub, and he he always had my back. I'll never. So I'm gonna tell a story about AC once I get out of this particular photo gallery. While I found another one. AC and I worked at. So we started working at this place called Celebrity. He was a manager. I was a bartender / consultant, and both from the streets. So we got a hood wisdom, not mentality, but we had a hood wisdom. So when things were about to go a little bit crazy, both of our spider sense kind of went up, and we always were kind of in sync with that. But I always knew this dude had my back. You know what I'm saying? Like there's people in the world that you just know are always gonna have your back. They'll if it comes down to swinging, I know that he'd probably be throwing the first blow. Because that's just my boy. He's my brother. This is us for New Year's Eve. Hannah at like 6, I think. We're over there at their house for New Year's Eve. But when we used to do these big porch patio parties, whatever. Like I would do them for my staff, and like we just grill out and hang out, for hours, and we just hang out. And this is what it was like to hang out. This is what it is like to hang out with AC. But one of those people that's just always got your back, people like that are so important. And I want to make, and I just want to, I wanted to make sure that he knows how much I love him, how much I appreciate him. This is, we reenacted a photo. This is us. Like when the top picture in this photo that I'm showing right now is White Shadow, DJ White Shadow, AC and myself. This is back in like Celebrity days. This might've been at Le Passage. I think the first time I met AC, I met him through Paul Blair, DJ White Shadow, at Le Passage, and he introduced me to AC as like, this is the dude that's going to come in and be a consultant for our company. The bottom picture shows, Paul now has gone and become famous with Lady Gaga, chest tattoos and all that, but he came back and he spun at Lumen nightclub, and AC of course was there. He came and supported and wanted to come hang out with Paul. And so then we reenacted the same picture, but I got the consultant shirt on from like when I was a consultant back in the day at Celebrity. But here's some pictures of us and our boy Eric, us and White Shadow. So this is us at Lumen. So we have this deep relationship that has a lot to do with nightclubs, a lot to do with like, but this is AC this is at his wedding. I was at his wedding. We all this is an all white affair. You dig? Like we this might be the picture I post today. Like, look at this picture. This is how much I love AC. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like he's singing that with a half a glass of Jameson. That's at Le Passage. This is after we closed. I had probably just finished dancing to the green light, give me the green light. And I run around and dance on the floor. Everybody knew that was the closing song for Le Passage. And at the end, I don't know what it was. He was singing to something. I just give him a big old kiss on the forehead. Because that's my boy, people walking on, who cares? Just walking wherever we want. Anyways, AC, brother, I love you. You have been such an important part of my life. While I've been in Chicago, you know what I'm saying? Like we in one of the posts I posted, we're brothers from another mother and the same father. Like we share the bond, we share the desire to bring people to freedom. And it has just been an honor to do that with you. Emil, this is at Hannah's birthday party. AC, I'm cooking and I'm doing something on the grill, and AC's got an umbrella for me. You know what I'm saying? Like AC's one of the best friends that I could ever have imagined having on earth. And so for you, it's your 50th birthday, brother. Happy birthday. I love you so much. It's such a blessing to have you as a best friend. I think that I've just spent like at least 17 minutes of my 20-minute like show talking about you, because I love you and you're so special to me, and I appreciate you so much. Oh, you know what? I gotta show Hannah this. I gotta show Hannah. This is me and Tay Tay, girl, y'all. You know what I'm saying? Y'all might have heard of her, Taylor Swift. But let me go ahead and save that so I could give it to Hannah. I was because she just told me the other day one of her best friends, Tay Tay, and J Joel. JJ is weird. Anyways, so I'm a we had a great run. Great run in nightclubs. We went from running Celebrity, then he was my head of security at Le Passage, and then when I left Le Passage, he stayed on for a little while. I went on to run Lumen, and he was always over there. You know, he worked. You know, he did a lot of security stuff, and the reason why AC, he's not the biggest dude in the world. Like, you know, he's not like these two guys, right? This is there's Drew Zilla on the right, and Abiola, right? A B, you know, that's Abiola. That's how deep Abby's voice is. And Abby is a monster. You know, like I remember one time we got into a fight, and it was a knockdown. it was crazy fight we got into at Le Passage, and I always had to tell Abby, like, Abby, no, Abby, you know, because he was so strong. Like, he would just manhandle people. But he didn't like to, you know what I'm saying? He's trained in martial arts, like he's trained in jujitsu and Muay Thai and all this stuff. And you know, but he, you know what I'm saying? People would punch him in the mouth because he was big. And I remember this one fight, I got a call from Drew, and AC got that same call. We all just hear all hands, you know, I need all security to the front door. We got to that front door. I see Drew handling a few people. You know, AC just got there with me, so we had to start knocking people out. Abiola is just throwing people into the street. And normally I'm like, Abby would see me and be like, oh, okay. And I was like, Abby, go. He was like, oh yeah? Like, I can go? I can turn up? And he was just like throwing people down Rush Street. Because it was like 10 of us, 12 of us, and there was like 30 people we were fighting. But anyways, we've had a crazy life together. We've had a crazy life together, and at the end of the day, man, we just love Jesus. We just love God. We just love talking about the power that God has in our lives, the power that we can be used for. You know what I'm saying? And so even though we have this crazy checkered weird past, our stories have just been intertwined just so beautifully to be where we are right now, to be in a place right now where we can actually start a ministry together and touch people's lives. By the way, AC is an incredible painter. Like incredible interior painter, like the room, like paint the room, like paint a room, paint a house. So if you need that, I'm helping him to launch his painting business. But he's not launching like the skill set. He's been doing it for probably 20 years, and he's incredible. He's the only painter that I'll use for anything, and only painter you should use for anything. But you know, I just wanted to kind of highlight our relationship. This is scary, but it's Halloween. I had my face done. AC was like, I'm not having no makeup put on my face. The Bobo. That's Bob. That's Hannah's granddad. Right there. Bob worked with us for a season after he got laid off at the printing press. Bob came and worked security at the nightclub as well, and just did a fantastic job. So diplomatic. We didn't really have to get into a ton of fights. He didn't have to, but you know, he turned up if you had to. You know what I'm saying? You gotta do what you gotta do. Bob liked the humbug. But this is Bob and AC. This is probably one of my favorite pictures. And this is family to me. This is AC, one of my best friends and brothers, and this is Bob. You know, like, you know, father figure-ish to me right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, these are it's just great. It's just great to take some time sometimes and celebrate people. Okay, so AC, you now have gotten 22 minutes of Share the Live Stream. It's time to talk about what else God is doing right now in this movement, y'all. So I got to tell you this timeline. And in order to tell you the timeline, I kind of got to remember, I got to take a second and shift gears. While I'm shifting gears, though, if you could, I'm going to put an invite into the Discord. This is an invite for the community that I would love for you to join. If you're here, if you're stumbled across this page, in the comment section right now, or in the caption of this post, there's a link to click. It's for the Discord. It's for our Discord. Discord is an app. It's kind of like imagine like Slack for internal communication, but for organizations, right? A lot of streamers use it for organizing their community, and that's what I want to use it for. I want to use it for organizing a community. And the way we the benefits to it is you can direct message me at any time if you ever need anything. There's a direct message way. There's a way to direct message me, so or someone else if you ever need something. But there's general topics. There's topics for live stream. So if there's something that you want to hear about, and hey, you know what? Hold on. Can we? Okay. All right. So I just remembered something else that I want to talk about today. This might be a little bit longer live stream, but I'm gonna blaze through this next part and get to what I just remembered. What I just remembered we got to talk about today. Today we got to talk about it today because it's important. But anyways, topics for live stream, which I should put on there. You know what? Let me I'll share it real quick. I'll share that page, share screen, so you can look at it. So you're not just like, what are you talking about? Share live stream captions. Share. Okay. So this is it. This is what Discord looks like, right? This is my personal Discord. All you'll have on yours is whatever you follow, right? So for me, I started a Lion's Mane gaming page, and on that page, it's kind of like having a page. On that page, I got like clips and stuff like that. I'm gaming, blah, blah, blah. I'm in the Spartans group, which is another gamer. This is like for me, my Call of Duty nerds. Like, hey, we if y'all want to meet in for a game or whatever it is. Stone Mountain, I follow Pipeline for gamers, and then I follow a couple other things. But it's kind of like tuning into different channels for communication. So that's the way you can think of it. And this channel that I have invited you to now with the Discord link in the bio and in the comment section, it is a way to tune in to what's going on with Share the Ministry as it grows, as it starts, as it grows, things that are going on. So there's a general channel. So again, you'll be in the share the community. In general, there's topics for live stream. You can come in and say, hey, here's the topic for a live stream. Like today, I just remembered oversharing. That's what we're actually going to talk about today. But topics for live stream, scriptures and encouragement. If there's something I stumble across, or that you stumble across and you want maybe to share with somebody else, it just meant something to you, so you can drop that in here. Prayer requests. I've got people in here that we just are covering in prayer that just need prayer. So there are those. When there's serving opportunities that come up, they'll get listed and posted in here. Praise reports. It's kind of like a way to not be spammed by email, right? So this is if you want to come to this community and you want to have share a praise report, cool. Or if you just need to read some praise reports, cool. Or if you just need to come in here and you want to drop some quotes in here, or you need to read a quote, or you need to consume or contribute at the rate you want to. And then I put a place in here for my live stream captions so that I can kind of stay on up to date with goals. And that's a perfect segue to what has been happening in the last couple of days. So you guys know that I'm streaming right now. I'm streaming right now from my MacBook. My MacBook has 4 ports on it because I got a good MacBook. Most MacBooks only have 2 ports. One where you can charge, one where you can plug in something else. In this particular case, I have a screen plugged into my MacBook. I have the camera plugged into my MacBook. That one right there. I have a audio interface. Audio interface is so that if you're on Facebook and YouTube right now, you can hear my audio perfectly right now. Better audio. And the reason why we want to do that and we want to have good, crisp, clean audio is because we're going to turn this show into a podcast eventually too. So it'll be a daily podcast. Hey, that's more work. We're going to get there. And what do we need to do more work? I'm glad you asked. What do we need to do more work? We need a different computer, a better computer. My computer runs at I have about 10 to 15% of my computer that's not being used right now. In like computer terms, that's terrible, right? So it is maxed out. It's like just streaming by the thread, by the skin of its teeth. We're making it through these streams. If you watch on YouTube or Facebook, you probably have experienced a lag. I'm really sorry about it. Sometimes my voice gets my mouth is moving and the sound is different. That's a lag that happens because I have to be on Wi-Fi because everything's plugged in that I can't even run a direct Ethernet cable stream to it. I say all those words because one of the things that I'm in a situation in my life where I'm making it through life based on people's generosity, and that's it. I'm not going to hide that. I cannot hide that. I don't make enough money with the workers' comp. It's workers' comp is a joke. It is just terrible. And I'll probably write a book about how terrible this system is for taking care of people. Period. Done with that conversation. Either way, that amount of money and not being able to work, I can't even stand more than 45 minutes, has put me in a situation where I literally depend on the kindness and goodness of people, that whether it's been, making food for me once a week or sending me money for groceries or yada, yada. I'm not hiding that. I'm going to talk about this more in a few minutes. So stick to it. If you want to hear a little bit more about the fact that I'm oversharing, we're going to talk about oversharing here in a few minutes. That's the topic that I just wrote down. Can we share too much? And I had that question proposed to me yesterday by someone who cares deeply about me. Whoa. And I'm going to share about what I shared with her about that particular subject. So stay tuned. But in the meantime, what I've done is I've said, as I have kind of taken on this is my work. This is what I do for a living right now. I share with people for a living right now. This is what I feel I can do right now with limited capacity. I can show up every day at 1:30 like the dude like Will Smith in I Am Legend and be like, yo, you're not alone out there, y'all. I can supply food and water and shelter, but I don't have any of those things. I have time and space, ear to listen, and prayers to dole out. So I'm trying to show up the way that I can show up. And so that's why we do this. That's why I'm doing this show. That's why I'm doing this show every single day at 1:30. That's why it continues to grow. But one of the things that I wanted to do, if it's going to grow, is I wanted to grow it. And the only way to grow it is if we had a computer. I need a new computer. It's not a crazy request. Nothing's too big or too small, or nothing's too big for God. So I said, okay, we're just going to start speaking it into words. We're just going to say, hey, look, this is where we are. I'm way over budget. And I don't have a budget. I live as slim as cables canceled, everything. But when that like insurance bill hit for $700 a month, and I got no choice but to get this to have that insurance because now I have specialists, yada yada yada. I said, yo, okay, I just need to make sure that we can cover that $700. And the thing that I need to make sure that I can continue to show up better and better and better and continue to grow is a new computer. And so there is a friend of mine, Francis' son, who is going to help build this computer. Started asking him about pricing, but yada yada yada. It's probably going to cost us about $2,000 total to get this new computer. Got to get the screen and keyboard, all that kind of stuff. So we're hoping to keep it around $2,000. So I set the goal. It's $2,000 and then the $700 for insurance to cover those parts of the month. In the last week, so I've been thinking about this for a while. I've been praying about this computer for a while. And the original goal, and I think normal people and what normal people would do is to say, hey, we're going to raise that $2,000 before we make any purchases on a computer. We're going to get the money. And the other day, guess who's over at my house? AC. Guess what we start talking about? This particular show. Guess what ends up happening? I say, I should just buy the computer. And he goes, you should just buy the computer. Because God's going to provide for anything that he's told you to do. And I'm like, yeah, good point. and that was Thursday. Friday comes. I don't pull the trigger on the computer. I mean, I'm 100. Here's what I want you to hear. I want you to hear that I'm like that. I'm like the personal trainer, right? I'm the personal trainer that sometimes, it's hard for the personal trainer to get up and do the workout too. You know what I'm saying? He might be the most nuts one in the room about that particular subject. But yo, we're human. So we all have our hangups, and fear is my hangup sometimes, like being 100%. And my friends had done a GoFundMe for me a few months ago. And I had kind of budgeted out, like, the bills, some of the bills that I have coming in, whatever it is, and the deficit, and using that money as like, okay, well, here's the deficit of the money that I can't cover in a month. And so if I can slow play using that money to cover the deficit, then I should be able to at least break even. These are the type of things that I know that I overshare, but because I want to be transparent, but I think that the transparency is for a reason, right? Because when I can be transparent and say, I have never in my life had so little to my name. I have never struggled financially more than I have in the last couple of years since I made a decision to go into ministry, period. Never in my life. You saw the pictures. We used to be able to create money out of thin air. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, and next thing you know, throw a party and sell 30 grand. Like, what, are you crazy? Yeah, that's what we used to do. That's what I used to do. And I got a percentage of that. You know what I'm saying? Every single time we did it. So money's not a problem. Like I'm an operational, my mind works as operations. If I want to go back into operations, I can go back into operations. If I want to go run something, I could go run something or build, but here's the thing. All that means nothing to me. It doesn't mean even a millipercent of what it means to connect with people, to lead with people, to walk with people. I will spend my life poor if it means I will pay. I don't even want to use that word because I'm not poor. I am rich beyond measure. I am rich beyond anything monetarily that could be provided to me in the world, period. And not just that, but we're I don't want to take that word for granted because I've seen what poverty looks like. It doesn't look like nothing we see in the United States, period. So I apologize for saying that. But I can have the fewest means I've ever had in my entire life. And as long as I'm doing this work, as long as I'm purpose driven, as long as I show up for people, as long as I share, as long as it means something to one person, like as long as it's at least one person, like that's it, then we're good. If I'm flapping my gums and there's not one person that gains benefit from it, then at the end of the day, I probably was just talking to myself. To maybe God was using that time to help me process maybe how to say it better, so someone listens. So I don't even think that that's completely a waste. But the point is that I don't have aspirations for something big. I have aspirations for something personal. I have aspirations for teaching people how to get back to each other. I have aspirations for teaching people how to grow on the inside, how to take a look at some of the things that we got going on. And so when I tell you that I've been at my lowest, it's or when I tell you that I've been in pain, it's not for you to hear. It's not for you to hear a sob story. It's so that when I have a praise report, you can understand where that praise report comes from. You can understand, because I've been transparent, that when AC said you should build a computer, and I was like, or I said I should just do it, and he's like, you should just do it because God's going to provide for it. What you should hear is I heard those words, and then I still got scared, and he does it, and he continues to do it. And so I heard those words. I agreed with those words. They were the right words. That's a correct statement. And then I didn't do it. And then I didn't do it. And then I didn't do it another day. And then Easter is here, and I hadn't done it. And I'm sitting there, and Easter was a good and a rough day at the same time. It was physically painful for me, and it was also emotionally hard. It was also emotionally painful to just know how much my physical condition has affected my family and made my family sad, and I can't do things that I can't, like go on our family vacation, you know what I'm saying, because of my limitations right now. And so there's like kind of sadness and regret about doing it without Joel, and there's and I understand that, but it made me sad, so I had a hard Sunday, and all of a sudden I'm just sitting there, and it was 9:00. Time is important. Time lining is important in your reflection process, I promise, because what you'll to do is you'll start to really appreciate the timing that God's using, or what's really happening. And so time is so important in this particular thing, because 9:00, I'm sitting there, and I remembered the conversation that AC and I had. And I somehow in that particular moment was able to break free of the, we might have internet issues. Well, let us see here. Yeah, that's the Wi-Fi. That's the Wi-Fi. Okay, it looks like we're okay. I don't know what's going on. So timelining, as I was saying, poor connection. Let's see here. Turn it off, and then turn it on, and let's see what happens. I don't know what's going on, guys. See here, this is one of those things that is probably being exacerbated because I'm not on a hardwired connection. But anyways, timelining. When you reflect, you need to be timelining what's happening, even down to the minute sometimes. And why that's important is because God will do things in sequence. God is a God of order. He in 7 days he created heaven and earth, right? So on this day, he did this thing. On the next day, he did this thing. On the next day, he did this. And then he did this. And then he did this. That's an order, right? And so if you pay attention to what the order is, a lot of times you'll find out, like, whoa, even the order was spectacular. And the spectacularness of this order was, I had been praying about this thing since this is week 4. So we've been talking about this Better Machine since day 2 of the live stream. This is live stream number 18, I believe, or 17, I believe. So since show number 2, I've been saying we need a better system. We need a better computer to live stream with, because the connection is really bad. It's just much more difficult live stream. I don't have the ports that I need. The capacity of this computer is just hanging on by a thread of a hair. And so I've been talking about it since day 2, praying about it since day 2. Remember, I had the money that I had been thinking about, like, that I had kind of budgeted to cover the loss. At 9:00 on Sunday, I was like, I'm just going to use that money to buy the computer. And I finally had the courage. To do the thing that I knew that God wanted me to do, because I had been praying about it. Multiple people have been praying about it. And then AC kind of, says, like, with confidence, and with confidence is like, yo, God's gonna, if God told you to do this project, he's going to cover like whatever you need. And I'm like, oh yeah, that's right, I forgot. And then I didn't do it for 2 more days. And then Sunday, 9 o'clock, I said, I texted my friend, let's build this thing. He and I have had 30 conversations around what this computer would take to build, how long it would take to build, what the components are. One of the components, if you're out there, if you just happen to turn in and you have an RTX 3060 Ti, that's a graphics card. It's a graphics card, or you know where to get one. Apparently, those things are in short supply, and that's what I need to complete my build. Anyways, I just spilled the beans. We're building the computer. I pulled the trigger at 9 o'clock. I said, well, let's do this. Make sure that the list that you have for me is correct. I'll add it all to my shopping cart, and we'll start. And I'll buy it tomorrow. I said this on Sunday night at 9 o'clock. At 8:07 that day, I did not check my email on Sunday night. I had no idea. I had no idea prior to saying, let's build this thing. At 8:07, I had someone who watched this show on this live stream on Instagram and looked at my caption and said, as soon as I realized that you were taking donations for what you're doing, I was prompted to give to you. And that amount of money was $1,345. I did not know this. But sometimes it's important for us to, no. It's important for us to realize that God already has the money in the bank for the thing you need with his blessing. The thing that you're praying for, God's already provided. It's just waiting on you. The money was literally waiting on me. Literally waiting on me to pull the trigger. Now, I had in my mind gone out on faith and said, well, I'm just going to spend this reserve fund that, kind of needed to pay rent. I was going to dip into that, this is the life fund. But you know what? If we're being faithful, God's going to take care of it. I didn't have to even dip into the paying my rent fund. So no matter how you chop it up, either this person paid for my rent and I was able to use the money that I had in reserve, or I was able to use the money in reserve, or I was able to, or this person put a significant dent, $1,345, into that computer fund, into the fund. The Sharemobile is what we're calling it. We're building, guys. That's what I wanted to share. That's the thing that I want to share next. So this is, again, join our Discord. It's amazing. And I promise, like, stuff like this, updates like this, you kind of hear first. But the thing that I wanted to show, the thing that I wanted to show is I wanted to show you like how excited I am about the fact that we actually have started the purchase. If you're watching this on live stream, you can see my screen right now. We've started, guys. We have started to buy the computer. We've started to buy the Sharemobile. Like this is our power supply. Okay. Yeah. I don't know what's special about it, but he told me to buy it. This is 2 terabytes. When I just said earlier that I was at like 12 to 15%. Right now I have a 500 megabyte laptop, which is great for a laptop. It's a laptop. It's supposed to be like portable and whatever. Like this is my storage. This is 4 times the storage that I have on this machine, so that I can create content. I can stream. I can post produce. I can chop out edits from the live stream, and my computer will be able to handle editing. This is the motherboard. Okay. This is the, I don't know, solid state drive. Okay. 1 terabyte. So I got 3 total. So I have 1 terabyte. That means that's like the solid state is, I do know that's like the memory that you use like the fastest. That's like your memory that's kind of on the surface that you use to run programs, open programs. We got that 1 terabyte. We got, I don't know what that is. Memory. I don't know what that is. Anyways. Oh, and then we have a case, right? A really cool looking kind of see-through case. It'll look pretty. We're looking for the graphics card, and we're looking for a couple other things, guys. But guys, we got that money out of faith by praying for it. Literally by praying for it. If you're tuning in live, if you go to the link in my bio and then go to watch, share the live stream, you'll see my screen. And when you see my screen, you can see that that like there's an order history. Like it's on the way. It's coming on Friday. Well, the build starts on Friday. But that's all from faith. That's not from Joel, That's not from Joel doing it. That's for people praying for the success of this movement. And that's going to help so much with like changing and upgrading the way the stream is going. Guys, a few minutes after we pulled the trigger on this yesterday, I had direct messaged one of the streamers that I watch a lot, and I had asked him about I don't know what gave me the tenacity or whatever it is, the cojones to direct message one of my favorite live streamers and be like, hey, there should be, I'm an operations kind of guy, whatever, nerd, whatever, this and that, retired nightclub guy, and operations are kind of my thing. And I just noticed a couple of things in this tournament that I feel it could make it easier on you. One of them is helping to report the score more effective and efficiently. I would totally love to help volunteer for doing it if you want me to. And so one of my favorite streamers in the world responds. I direct messaged him on Friday. He responds a few minutes after I get my this streaming computer. One of the biggest streamers on Facebook responds to me and was like, would you like to help with the next tournament? And I'm like, why, yes, I was. I might actually have like a machine that's worthy of keeping up when I help with it too, and so I'm gonna officially be helping with I'm not gonna announce the name yet, but I'm gonna be helping with organizing a tournament with one of the biggest streamers on Facebook right now. And that all of that gaming nerd like feedback all kind of goes into the same vein of like, this all helps me be able to figure out how to bring a better message to you. Like that's why part of the reason why I've realized why we use Discord. It's a streamer and gamer kind of concept because they're really good at organizing community. And I want to be good at organizing community. And I think I'm good with people. But this is in a virtual space. How do you organize people in a virtual space? And so I've just been kind of nerd studying this whole time when I can't physically do much. I can definitely study. I can notate. I can just put my hand up and say, hey, I'll help volunteer on helping to organize your stream. And I'll get so much experience on the back end about how to organize and manage streaming that's just exciting to think about. It's exciting to think that we pulled the trigger. The first probably half of the physical parts needed are ordered. We probably got to spend about that again for this graphics card and the CPU, the processor. But anyways, like it's just really exciting. And so I wanted to kind of give everyone an update on that. I wanted to show real numbers and show an order history. Like, hey, the things when I say that, and then I'm sorry to stop, and then my mom says, hey, that group, that GoFundMe, is there a way? My friend wants to know how to give again. And she gives another $50 to the Venmo. And I'll be honest with you, my Venmo pays for two things: therapy and food. Those are the two things. And so that helps because my Venmo, that's how I pay my therapist. And that's also how I order Grubhub. And that's also how I order like DoorDash and not DoorDash. Grubhub, like the delivery ones like DoorDash and Grubhub and all that stuff. But then also like Instacart, right? Or Amazon Fresh. That's where that comes out of my Venmo. So anyways, it was just incredible. It's been incredible. And then today, then also another one that I use a lot for stuff like that, for just making payments on stuff or whatever, is Cashapp. And today I just woke up to another $250 donation from someone, Sue. I'll say her name because she's the one that organized the GoFundMe, and she just sent me $250 and was like, love you. And I was like, I don't even know why. I don't even know what. Let me do something for you. Let me, like, I don't even know why you're doing that. And that's how I was able to order Amazon Fresh delivery for tomorrow. So listen, like, now that's a segue into this can we share too much topic. And I feel like I should probably dedicate an entire show to it. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to keep that. That's a topic that we're going to share about tomorrow. And I want to answer that question right now. No. No. That's it. That's the answer. Show's over. But I actually am I'm going to save some of it for tomorrow. But and I'll speak more to the question that was asked of me than to the answer, because the answer is no, and I'll explain why tomorrow. The answer is no. I don't think that we can share too much. I don't think that. Yeah, no is my answer. I'll explain more tomorrow. There's a way to do it with wisdom. There's a way to do it with God's blessing and permission and all these little things. But there's scripture in the Bible that talks about sharing, and and then my mom I'll never forget one of the most important scriptures my mom has taught me is not to cast my pearls among swine. In other words, the valuable things you have, not to throw out to animals that don't deserve it, respect it, cherish it. And we'll talk about a couple of those things tomorrow in the explanation. And so, I've probably given you a lot of where we're going to kind of go with it, and we will. But the question that this person asked me was, it was, I had shared a post. I can do that. I know I can do that on Instagram. Sorry if you're not on Instagram right now. This is kind of the hard part about this is the hard part about streaming in multiple places. I want to share this picture, this photo with everyone on Facebook and YouTube, but I'll read it. It was 5:37 in the morning the other day. It was Sunday night, and I knew Hannah was going to be waking up in the morning, and I had just a horrible, horrible pain night. And I had been trying not to take anything to fight the pain or to sleep, because I was supposed to be going to the doctor in the morning to get an injection in my knee. And I didn't want to be groggy the next day. And sometimes if I take pain meds at night, it makes me groggy. But at this point, I was in so much pain that I had no choice but to take, my meds. And so I texted Hannah because I knew that she was going to be getting up in a couple hours to do school. And I like to at least make sure she's up, make sure she's good, I'm saying, in the morning before school. And more importantly, we are in a place where we're very, very careful with mental health, very careful with what we need for our mental health. And so more importantly, I just didn't want her thinking that I was just in bed, miserable or down or depressed or upset. And so I sent her a text and I said, babe, just letting you know that I'm not, it's like 5 a.m. I've been up all night because my leg's been bothering me. It's been driving me nuts. I was trying not to take anything, and I have a little pill emoji, but just had to, no choice. I'll still make sure you're up for school, but I might not be able to be up when you actually start class. Don't forget how cute you look. Super happy to show off your hair. Turn your light on in your room, breakfast bowl in the freezer, come in and hug me. And then I said, it feels weird that I even have to text my kids stuff like this. I wish I could throw my phone out the window. And so that was my post that I had posted. That was the post that I had posted. And my friend chimed in and said, can I ask you something? And I said, and I knew when I got the text, and when she said, can I ask you something? I knew it was going to be about the fact that I had shared too much, or that I do, or that maybe this was that. And so then I asked, and then got the answer that's kind of, it's just, and what it was, and what, as we kind of started to peel back the layers, what it was it was a person that cares about me and cares about how people and I think this person sees that they hate that I'm suffering, or hate that I'm having a hard time right now. They hate that that I'm going through what I'm going through. They don't feel like it's fair. I've experienced that a few times. My mom being included in that group, where we don't really think it's fair. It's not really that fair that this person is going through these things. And it happens a lot when you love someone, when you care for someone. And so this person cares for me, and this person loves me, and this person was like, is it possible to share too much? And I just love the fact, what I love about that, what I love about the question, what I loved about that particular question posed that particular way is two things. She said, I just want to ask you a question with all the love I can give. Like she set it up like it might be a sensitive topic, but I want to make sure that you receive it with love, or you hear it with love. And I was like, okay, shoot. I had a feeling that it was about that post because it was underneath that post. And she asked, do you think that we can share too much? And then as we kind of talked, and we talked about it, it was not her saying, I think you share too much, and someone could tell me that, and I wouldn't be surprised if someone said that or thought that. It doesn't surprise me. I remember I didn't get hired at a place one time for one particular opportunity because they said that I shared too much. Like they said to a volunteer that volunteered there that, oh, we can't hire him, he shares too much. And I'm like, okay, well, then I wasn't supposed to work there. And so, or have that opportunity. That's literally how I reconcile it. And so anyways, the approach, the way that she could have presented it could have been one way. And it could have been a little bit aggressive, not aggressive, but like, hey, my opinion is that you share too much, and it's no one's business that you're suffering. And you know what? I am in a position to go head on into that frame of thought, that mental capacity at every single chance I can. But instead of her like evoking a head-on reaction, she approached it with curiosity and care. And it was incredible. It was incredible. I was like, gosh, thank you so much, first of all, for caring about me, caring about the way, because what that means is that you actually care about the way people see me. And you see me in a certain way, and you want people to see me in that certain way. And I appreciate that. And it also says that you care about the struggle that I'm walking through, and that hearing struggle come from someone else can evoke your own struggle. It can bring up your own fears because and discomfort with it, because you're so close to it. You're so able to connect to what that feeling was or what that feeling is. And so I thanked her for her thanked her for her care. And I explained to her that I do think that it's very important how we share, where we share, but that for me personally right now, with this particular mission in mind, with this particular ministry in mind, with this particular nonprofit in mind, with this particular audience in mind, it's important for me to share. It's important for me to be vulnerable. I said it earlier today is if I don't share the bottom of the barrel, then you have to understand that there's a story being told here with this whole process, with this whole ministry, with this whole journey. There's a story of suffering and deliverance, suffering and survival, suffering and living that is playing out right in front of all of our faces, and I don't want to miss it. And so while I will tell you that every single time I get up from this chair, I'm a sweaty mess because I share. Well, I will tell you that it feels really vulnerable. Brene Brown calls it a vulnerability hangover. And I kind of have one every day. Every single day, I'm like, should I have said that? I don't know. I mean, I showed them my new like order history. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't have. Maybe, maybe someone's going to think it's stupid that I spent money on a computer when I can barely make it with the one I have. There's so many things that I could think about and overthink about and over. Maybe someone's going to be like, well, I'm not going to, well, that person's not responsible. Like, he just spent his insurance money, his insurance premium money. What you got to understand is I'm going to jump off that ledge every single time. Every single time, because every single time God's caught me. Every single time I made a leap in faith, not an irresponsible leap, not a stupid leap, not like whatever it is. Like it is every single time I've been obedient and I've done what God's told me to do. He's done what he said he was going to do, period. And so he told me to start sharing. Told me to start sharing with consistency. Told me to start showing. I was able to pick the time. I was able to pick the topic. And to be honest with you, I don't think I've really picked the topic any day. Tomorrow I know what the topic is going to be, but that's just because we just stumbled across it today. But tomorrow we're going to talk about, can you share too much? And we're going to really kind of talk, but I don't want to just talk from my opinion. There's some scriptures that can give us some insight here. There's some quotes. There's some Brene Brown things that we can find, that I'll find between now and tomorrow about, can we share it? Are we able to share too much? And so we'll have that conversation. But every single time I've done it, every single time I have been obedient, then the blessing finds its way into my life every single time. And if you if you can, and you're sitting here, you're thinking, but you're in XYZ pain, or but like, I know how hard this season is. Yeah, you're 1,000% right. I don't know if God gives bonus point for being obedient when the whole world is on fire around you, but I'm shooting for those kind of bonus points. You dig? I don't know if I don't know how it all pans out. But if I have an excuse to be a big baby, to not listen to anything that God says, to be absorbed in my situation, to let depression win, if I have an option, if I have a choice, to the easy road out would be to kind of coast with this whole thing, sit on my ass, not do nothing, not share with nobody, feel upset about it. And trust me, I have all those days. But instead of staying there, I have made a decision to push. I have made a decision to be obedient. I have made a decision to start a ministry in the middle of the worst crisis to ever happen to me in my life. That is how the story is going to go. And that is what we are doing. So do I think that God's going to bless it? Absolutely. Is it clear that he is already? Absolutely. Last month for March, when our first month, someone could just, I don't know why I felt led to contact you and pay that bill, that insurance bill. So my first insurance premium covered. And that was pretty much all we made in donations for the month. But you know what? The thing that I was stressing personally, we didn't start getting into having donations to start paying for the ShareMobile, the computer that we're going to build. But personally, for me, for Joel, the thing that I needed the most in that particular moment, the thing that I was freaking out about the most, was this extra $700 a month that I have no choice but to pay because I don't have a job and I don't have insurance. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I was stressing out about. And then someone that I don't even remember the last time I was in the same room with that person, just randomly shows up and was like, yo, I'm going to take care of that. So I say all this to say, if you're being obedient, share away. You know what I'm saying? God's going to tell you who and how. I'm also going to say this. It was really nice to feel like there have been a few people I can on one hand, I can count a few people that have just extraordinarily done their best to walk with me through this time and done their best to be with me through this time. And here's the thing. there's been a lot of life that's happened to a lot of people, and a lot of things that have been going on in a lot of people's lives. We're still in the middle of a global pandemic. I don't think anything less about anyone that's hasn't been able to kind of like walk this closely with me. But there have been a few people. My mom, when I saw her cry tears of hurt for me, you understand, it broke my heart, first of all. But you have to understand, like, when you're in a hard place, when you're in like one of the worst seasons you've ever had in your life, and you just know that someone cares, you know that someone loves you, you know that someone's thinking about you, you know that it breaks someone's heart. You know, this is what it is like to that's what it's like to be loved by God. God's heart breaks for us. He it literally breaks for us. And when you can see that in another human being, it doesn't matter that that person doesn't have the right thing to say or the right money to provide or the right advice or the right solution in that moment. It doesn't matter. What matters is that the person loved you enough to cry for you, loved you enough to care about you, loved you enough to be like, oh my God, when I hear him say those things, it just breaks my heart. It tears me apart because I care about that person. And so that's what I took away from that question last night. And I just say bravo to the person that made that asked me that question. Because if you pay attention to the question, it was asked in care, it was asked with caution, and it was really genuinely asked in with curiosity and not judgment. And that was so important for me being able to really answer that question, which is a hard question. It's a sensitive subject for me to share. It's sensitive subject to be for me to be questioned about sharing the things that are going on inside of me. And it is one that I could shrink back and I could be like, well, I'm doing something, you can have all kind of reactions when you're in that like really tender territory. And sharing to me is tender territory because because right now it's so hard. It's been so hard. It's been so hard to show up. Today I've had some really great topics to talk about though, and I feel really really blessed about that. Today I was able to talk about my best friend's birthday. Today, AC, again, happy birthday. Shout out to you, brother. Love you so much. I hope you're having a great day. I know you're with your grandbaby. You have a grandkid, like damn year old. 50. Whoa, 50. Gee, you were not supposed to make it to 50. You know that. You know that. I know that. We know that about each other. You were not supposed to make it to 50, and God let you see 50. So thank you, God, for letting my best friend see 50. We have been able to celebrate building and starting to build on the Sharemobile, which is going to be the computer that we use to kind of take sharing to the next level. We have that we talked today about a donor update, which was oh man, I don't know if that's a call that watch. That'd be like my doctor saying, hey, can you come in for that shot that we promised you on Monday? Anyways, I'm gonna call that number back in a minute. But we've talked about a lot of stuff, and we talked about donor update. And tomorrow, the topic of tomorrow's show is, can we share too much? It's a great question. And I'm gonna do some digging, and we're gonna have that conversation tomorrow. But until then, don't forget to share. We have enough. You have enough. There is enough. There is enough out there. Don't live from scarcity. You have enough. And I don't just mean resources. When I say that we share our blessings and our bruises, I mean, it's not that we just share and buy the person coffee behind us at Starbucks. We also share the things that are hard for us to communicate about, hard for us to talk about. We share those in a safe place with a safe person, because you have enough on your plate. You have enough, and you're not meant to go through the things that you have going on inside of you alone. So make sure, find yourself someone to share. If you don't share with, and if you don't have someone to share with, I'm putting my hand up, and I will continue to put my hand up as a person that you can share with. I'll go through it with you. I might not have all the answers. Matter of fact, I don't have any of the answers. Let's just call it like that. So anything I say is like bonus material. But I know who does, and I know how to steer the conversation and the prayers in the right direction. And so, shout out to all the people. I don't know why I just got lightheaded thinking about. I got physically overwhelmed at the thought of what we're going to be able to do when we can encourage people to share with each other and connect, really connect to each other, like literally lightheaded about it. But don't forget to share. You have enough. You have enough. We have to share because we have enough. Whether it's we have enough on our plates or we have enough to help each other out and to be with each other and to walk with each other. So that being said, Lord, thank you so much for the opportunity to share. Thank you so much for this time. Thank you for letting me process out loud for the last hour and 12 minutes or whatever it's been. It's been an honor and a blessing, and I pray that you continue to bless this movement. In Jesus' name, amen. That is it. We are out. Thank you so much for tuning in. We appreciate y'all. Love all around. And make sure you turn in tomorrow for the question, can we share too much? Great question. Great question. Can we share too much? Happening tomorrow. Okay. Bye, guys.